What up, what up? We have some huge games in the NFL this week. It is week 9. We are officially at the mid-season point. The trade deadline is passed. Moves have been made. Teams are pretty much set for what they will be the remainder of this year and throughout the playoffs. And we've got some big games this week that are going to impact playoff pictures like crazy. We got to talk about them. We got to talk about Chiefs, Dolphins. We got to talk about Bills, Bengals. And we've got to talk about that NFC East battle, the Cowboys versus the Eagles. Now, which teams are going to shake up what? Let's talk about it. We got huge games. A lot of momentum being built on some decent teams. I've been building myself momentum as well. We bounced back. I had a horrible week 2 weeks ago that, again, we are not talking about anymore. I'm done, okay? I'm done. But this week we bounced back. We went 12-4, which I think is very respectable considering there were some crazy games. We saw the Bengals beat the Niners. We saw the Chiefs lose to the Broncos. We saw the Jets and Giants put up basically 0 passing yards. It was insane. I went 12-4, fellas. Okay, all right. But we did pretty good. We bumped my record up to a 72-50. Come on now. I'm pretty excited about that. 22 games over 500. You already know. Come on. I'll take it. We got to talk about these games. Like I said, there are huge playoff implications this week. And for me too, come on, we got to have a great week again to really push myself toward the playoffs. I don't know what I'm going to play off against, but you already know. You know. I don't even know. But I need to go crazy. These teams really need to battle it out to see who's going to be the best, who's going to get those top seeds and come playoff time, who's going to make it into the playoffs. So let's get right into it. But first, we got to talk about bye weeks. 49ers have lost 3 straight. They're going to go into a bye, probably pretty upset with themselves, probably not feeling the greatest about life. But you know what? Kyle Shanahan's not mad about it. That's probably a good thing. Stir the pot a little bit, get some emotions going, really refocus his team and get back on a winning streak. We also have the Denver Broncos and the Jacksonville Jaguars from the AFC and the Detroit Lions, who have been the sleeper of the NFC, who have really looked good. Besides their loss against the Ravens, of course. And they're going to get their time to refocus, heal up a little bit, and really march towards this playoff run. Without further ado, Thursday Night Football, it is tonight, fellas. We got to talk about it. We have the Titans, Steelers. Maybe this isn't the biggest implications of the playoffs, but it can be. Right now, the Steelers are sitting at the 6-7 spot in the AFC wild card, and the Titans, they found something. They're hungry. They might want to steal that 6-7 spot. So it's going to be a good game. A lot of emotions are going to be out there. This is really when the NFL starts picking up. It's about this midseason, right after the trade deadline. Intensity is going to be there. Who's going to win this game? Come on now. Look no further than me right here. The Steelers, they have looked okay. Their offense has looked horrible. Their defense has been great. And so to average that out, okay. Matt Canada is the meme of the NFL right now, whether you're on NFL Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, you name it. We all been talking about Matt Canada and what is he doing as an offensive coordinator, not using Jalen Warren and Najee Harris like he probably should. And with that being said, that's going to be a huge factor in my mind because that's been a big thing that I've been on the Titans' case about is they have no identity. They have no offensive focus. They have no direction, no purpose. Like they were just a very mediocre team. And now they might have found something. Ryan Tannehill goes out. They have a bye week. Will Levis steps up, and he balls out. 4 touchdowns, 250 yards passing, and he looked good while doing it. If you're a box score checker, you are going to miss a few of the dots that he threw. I mean, with pressure in his face, stepping back, he's throwing a 40-yard bomb for a touchdown. And, man, he just let D-Hop go up and do his thing. Derrick Henry did his thing. Wonderful to see. And no way they didn't even blow out the Falcons. That's a decent defense for a first career start to go up and go put up those kind of numbers. They found something in Will Levis. They're going to stick with it. They're going to put that mayonnaise in their coffee or hot chocolate or whatever the weird crap he does. That re-energized the whole team. That brought some hype to Tennessee. That brought passion, purpose, you name it. And they're going to be dialed in. They're going to go get this playoff. They're going to battle it out. Start with the Steelers, and they are going to take down the Steelers this week. Then the early game on Sunday, we're going all the way across the pond and even further. We're going all the way to Germany now. We got Dolphins, Chiefs, which is already a massive game. And then you throw it into a whole nother country. Things about to get wild. I mean, come on. Tua, Tyreek, Raheem Mostert, they've been electric this year. But we all know what Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce can do. We've seen it for years now. Their defense has looked better than ever, though the rest of their offenses look worse than ever. It should be a great battle. The Dolphins haven't quite found it on defense, but could they? They could easily turn it on. Jalen Ramsey is back. Let me remind y'all, Jalen Ramsey is a all-pro at his peak. This is tough, especially when you consider that T. Swift probably ain't making the trip over to Germany. Might make it a little bit more difficult. And Kelsey hasn't balled out very well when she's not around. Come on. No, we're done with that. No, we're not talking about that here. The defense for the Chiefs has looked a lot better than years in the past, and the Dolphins really haven't done great against elite defenses, which is crazy when you think about the number of points that they've put up and how electric this offense has been. They really have struggled against some decent defenses, such as the Buffalo Bills. And why? Because Tua gets forced into a lot of turnovers. And that will be the story of the game here in Germany as well come Sunday morning. So I'm taking the Chiefs. Next, we got Vikings, Falcons, two teams who have really struggled. The Vikings found some life. And then their starting quarterback tore his Achilles and was out for the year. Jaron Hall is stepping up, maybe Josh Dobbs after the trade they made with Arizona. Desmond Ridder is also out with a concussion this week. So we've got two different quarterbacks. And Taylor Heineke is much more proven than Jaron Hall. That's why I'm going to take the Falcons. They've had a better defense this year. Vikings are also missing their top offensive weapon in Justin Jefferson again. Just give me the experience. Give me the Falcons. Bears, Saints. Bears are... I'm not sure if they're going to have Justin Fields. And even if they do, they're still probably not better than the Saints. The Saints just have a great defense. Their offense is coming together. And so I'm going to take the Saints here, especially when you consider it's in New Orleans. It's the Bears, man. I can't count on that. Rams, Packers. Again, another team I can't count on in the Packers. They've lost 4 straight now. Their offense hasn't looked good. Their defense just lost one of their biggest weapons in Rasul Douglas. I think that Rams defense is going to put more pressure on Jordan Love and make it even more difficult than it already has been for him. It's hard enough to be a quarterback in the NFL, especially in your first year, and it's really hard to do it with Aaron Donald in your face. So give me the Rams and let's move on. We have Washington and New England battling on the East Coast. Commanders, they lost the past few, but they battled with the Eagles last week and looked good while doing it. Sam Howell had himself a day. The Patriots, they've been here, they're improving, right? Their offense has certainly been a lot better the past 3 weeks than it was, the first 6. It still hasn't been good. It still hasn't translated into many wins. Give me the Commanders. Seahawks, Ravens, they're going to be battling out in Baltimore this week. See, both teams have looked good as of late. Really good as of late. And the Seahawks, they just went out and made some moves. They signed Frank Clark a week ago after the Broncos dropped him. They went out and made a trade, and they got Big Cat Leonard Williams to man the middle with Jaron Reed. No, I'm glad that they're buying in. But no, I don't. The Ravens have been much better overall. I'm still not banking on Geno Smith to be an elite level quarterback. Their running game hasn't been as good as it was last year. And Lamar is honestly my favorite to win MVP right now. Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, they'll take this game. Bucks, Texans, Baker Mayfield, CJ Stroud. I think the Bucks are going to take this one. They both have lost the past couple weeks, but I feel like the fact that the Bucks didn't really make any moves at the trade deadline kind of tells me that they're okay with this team. They're kind of buying into it. They still think they could make a playoff spot potentially. And so they're going to go out and they're going to ball out. They're going to see what they can do. Whereas the Texans, I just don't feel like there's enough life there. I feel like the motivation just is lacking. Even though they don't have a reason to tank because they traded their first round pick to Arizona this year. So I hope they lose as well. But I don't know. I just feel like Baker's going to have more energy, and that's really going to be the difference here. And that's really the bottom line. Speaking of my Cardinals, we got them going up against the Cleveland Browns. It sounds like Clayton Tune is now the starting quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals. The 5th round rookie. I don't know how that's going to go. I really don't. But the Browns, I don't know who's playing quarterback for them either. PJ Walker, I assume. And I really like to see him bounce back and have a good game. Colts, Panthers. Panthers picked up a dub last week, but I don't think they're going to repeat that. Just everything about the Colts is better than the Texans. So give me the Colts over the Panthers. Giants, Raiders, 2 horrible football teams. The Raiders just fired their head coach and their general manager. And Daniel Jones might be back and playing. Aiden O'Connell is the starting quarterback of the Raiders now. Is he just going to throw it up to Devontae Adams like Will Levis did to D-Hop this week? I don't know. Is Josh Jacobs going to finally break loose? I don't know. Are the Giants going to be good at football? Also have no idea. Coin flip. Give me the Giants. I'm going with the Giants. Daniel Jones has more experience in this league than Aiden O'Connell, obviously. Saquon Barkley has looked better in the limited games he's had than Josh Jacobs. And the defense of the Giants has been about on par with the Raiders. So, you know what? Give me the Giants. I really have no confidence in that one, though. Cowboys, Eagles. Now, this is another big game, right? Another big game in the NFC East. Eagles have looked dominant. They've had some couple close wins, but wins nonetheless. Cowboys, they look back to form. Just dominated the Rams. Are they going to be able to go into Philadelphia and do it? I think so. Do I think the Cowboys are a better football team? Absolutely not. No way. No. I just think it's going to be one of those games. A little upset, a little, vigor in the Cowboys. They're going to be playing with some pride, with some passion, trying to go show the world what they can do. Eagles might be a little too relaxed. So give me the Cowboys. Bills, Bengals, huge game in the AFC. Huge, massive. And so what do I think? I mean, the Bengals have been on a roll. They won 2 straight, went into their bye week, came out and beat the 49ers. They looked rough at the beginning, but they've really found their groove. The Bills, they've been a little up and down. They're still one of the best teams in the AFC. You already know, don't get me wrong. But, give me the Bengals. They're just on fire. Really, that's what it boils down to. Chargers, Jets, Monday Night Football, Chargers, Jets. On Sunday Night Football, Chargers went out and dominated the Bears and looked good doing it. Jets barely beat the Giants in overtime with 2 clutch field goals from Greg Zuerlein. Each week, I think Zach Wilson is just going to pop off, and he just doesn't. I'm going to take the Chargers on this one. I think their defense is good enough to make life difficult for Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson. And, their offense is good enough to score a few more points than the Jets' offense. As long as Justin Herbert can limit the turnovers, I got the Chargers winning this one. And that's going to be a huge step for them to get themselves into the AFC wildcard race as well. And this is just going to be a fun week, man. It's going to be huge. We've got big games. If we go down the list, the Titans Steelers could have big wild card implications. Dolphins Chiefs, we already know, could be the top of the AFC. Seahawks Ravens, both teams looking good. I think that's a big game. Don't underrate that one. Cowboys Eagles, right? Eagles still have a comfortable lead even if they do lose to the Cowboys, but it still could be a big game. It's going to be fun to watch at the very least. And then Bills Bengals. I mean, they're always at the top of the division or the conference. It's always fun to watch Joe Burrow and Josh Allen go at it. And it's going to be a good game for the Chargers Jets as well. So we've got a lot of good football in store for us this week. I'm excited. Intensity's going to be picking up. It's midseason, man. My teams are going to go crazy. Let's see. How do you think your team is going to do? How do you think my predictions are? What would you change? Let me know down below. And hey, just have some fun this weekend.